So, hi, Renee Flamand. Coming off Mondays, I talked about how this video is going to be how breaking no contact will be a disaster every time. I've made a lot of videos on the topic of no contact, but this week we are concentrating on it and every aspect of it, trying to hit different points maybe that I hadn't made before, or just for new people, please listen up. You feel like you have one more thing to say. Now, every single thing I'm talking about, I did. I made the mistake of doing. That's why I try to tell you. That's why this channel was started to begin with. Those of you that know, that have been with me from the beginning of the channel, know that that's how I started. I want to prevent you from making the mistakes I made. The other day I posted those, well, a week or so ago now, maybe. I'm wearing bright yellow, and it's 4 shorts of saying, no, don't call him. And there was a comment in there by somebody that says, oh yeah, like we're going to take dating advice from a single 55-year-old. Well, first of all, I'm 56. Second of all, I want to be single, that's why I'm single. And third of all, it's not dating advice. That was a very limited scope of what we deal with on this channel. This isn't a dating advice channel. This is those shorts were about no contact. So obviously that person isn't really maybe in tune with the entire world of dysfunction that we deal with. But again, I've made these mistakes. So you have one more thing to say? You think it's going to make a difference this time? Think of how many different ways I can explain things. Just go by the number of videos that we have. There's a finite amount of topics. I'll just keep talking about them until everybody gets it. I did the same thing to the narcissist. So I can promise you I did not have one more thing to say. I had said every single thing that had to be said in every possible way. It could have been said, Q&As, informative, tried this, try that. Nothing was ever going to make him see. But yet I felt I had one more thing to say, so let me dial the phone. Let me shoot the text. I want you to not do that. I want you to just file it. If you have one more thought, file it. File them all. I bet you have said it before in some way or another. I bet you felt it and said it before. But please don't break. So many frustrating things can happen if you break. You'll be looking for their number for a response if you break. Even if you tell yourself you only wanted to get that off your chest, that one last text, that one last voicemail, and I don't care if he responds, I wanted to get that off my chest. Even if you tell yourself that, of course you care. You care. And I don't mean care with your heart. You may detest them, but you do want a response. Even if it's copy that. Even if he says, I got it, I read it. We don't even get that in a relationship with these people. You're not used to acknowledgement. In fact, after a long soliloquy, you're used to them coming back with something that has nothing to do with it, and they never even answer you. They ignore everything you say and never really address the issue anyway. What makes you think they're going to do it if you're in the middle of no contact and you've broken up? Suddenly they're going to have an epiphany that they need to talk to you? Maybe they miss you and No. So you're looking at your phone all day because you broke no contact and you left a message or a text. Now you're checking your phone all day, or email, or social, back messages to the social, which can always be received. You're looking at your text, anything, and there's nothing. And then you feel that feeling again that you used to get when you were in the middle of a relationship and they would silent treatment you, ghost you, not call you for 3 days. It's the same feeling. Why do you want to relive that again? If you had never sent a message, if you had never made the call, you'd be having a feeling still. Sure, no contact is hard. It's very hard. It's tough. That's why people count it down. I'm on 4 months. I'm on 8 months. Let me know how long you are. I'm over 2 years now. I'm well away from the relationship, but people count it when they're in it. I think I told you, I've made many videos on no contact. I went by Sundays. I used to go, I can make anything 7 days, I used to say. Make it to the Sunday. I think of that now. I can't even imagine spending 2 seconds on the phone with this cat now. But that's how I had to do to get through it. It's tough. It's very tough. But you're not doing this feeling now that you're doing because you broke and he didn't get back to you. That is reliving a feeling that they made you feel when they wanted you in that space. If you never contact them, you'll never get that feeling again. And that's what hit me when I finally stuck no contact. I was like, I never want that feeling again. Because what else can happen? Oh my God. They could call you. Happened to me many times. 50 messages one night, 30 messages another night, 43 messages another night, and I don't answer. I see them coming in. 2, 3, 4 in the morning. Urgent, all of a sudden, after weeks of no contact. Guys, that's a red flag. He had a fight with his new supply and he needed to talk to me to build up his ego, massage his brain, whatever the heck. And one time, more than one time, twice I think, in all of these times, I would break. And I remember one time, it was like Monday morning. It was all weekend, 50 calls, all weekend. Finally, I go, what? On Monday at like 8. I'm like, is he dying? Comes over for coffee. I want you to really pay attention to this. 2 days we hung out. By Tuesday afternoon, that was a Monday morning, by Tuesday afternoon, he's off. And when I say off, I mean off. Going back to doing what he was doing when he hoovered me with the 50 messages. Had a fight with the new girlfriend, comes back, okay. Now, if I had never answered him, the most I would have is 50, which they get very unpleasant name-calling messages if you don't respond back. 50 messages to listen to, if I so chose, which I didn't. I listened as they came in, but I didn't go back and review. But now I have a pile of messages. Okay, so I would have had that, but not this feeling now. Now he's ghosting me. I finally relent and call him back after 50 messages. This could happen to you. It may have happened to some of you. Then he talks to you for a day and a half, killing time while he's making up with you, and then boom, they're off again. That's like a triple blade to the heart. Whereas if I didn't break and I didn't answer that phone, I wouldn't have been feeling that way on that Tuesday afternoon. Again, what did he do to me? I'm looking at my phone. I'm looking at my phone. Why hasn't he called? He said he was going to call. I thought we were back on track. We spent the last day and a half together. Why isn't he calling? What happened now? Sure enough, you finally get them on the phone and they act shady. And you know, right? I think what he said to me was, I'm just a bad guy. I said, you're on your way back south? He said, yeah. Meaning the other girl. I'm just a bad guy. Isn't that lame? I did that to myself. I didn't have to call him back on Monday at 8 o'clock and break my no contact. I did that. That was my choice. I had all the power. But guess what? On Tuesday afternoon, he did. Because now the next 2 days, I'm checking my phone. The next day, checking my phone. It took me that quick to get used to talking to him again on the reg. On the regular. The kids say on the reg. Right? Breaking no contact will absolutely be a disaster every time. They're trying to break you down to see if you will bite. And if you do, they win. They're just trying to see if you will. They're not dying to talk. He wasn't dying to talk to me. He was probably leaving messages for 10 women across the state, and I happened to be the one that finally called him back. Anything to appease the current pain he was going through. Not pain, they don't feel like we do, but from the girlfriend. They're going to reach out, whoosh, picture that, like a bunch of rays. And I bit. Don't be the person that bites. It's going to be a disaster every time. You could answer and they could ghost you. You could answer, they could be mean to you. You could answer, you could call them with questions. You could answer. Breaking no contact could mean that you call them too. You know what I mean? Just out of the blue on your own. You have one more question. You have one more thing to say. You guys, they're going to frustrate you. You're going to leave with no answers, more confused than ever. They'll say something hurtful, or they may say something in the love bombing category. And if you're still feeling the rejection, that may have an effect on you that you don't want right now. I don't want you to tell me anything good right now. I don't want to hear anything from you. I don't want any chemical reactions from that person, meaning dopamine, endorphins, adrenaline, or cortisol. I'm done having you love me. I'm done having you fight with me. I'm done talking to you. I'm done with you talking to me. No contact. And once you're past the point, which is tough, of maintaining no contact, you will absolutely get to a place of healing. There's no timetable. Yours might be different than another person's. 3 months, 6 months, a year, 2 years. We're all different. But the first step is not breaking that no contact, you guys. It really will be a disaster every time. It's never what you think it's going to be. A coming back and you're going to be together. No. And Friday, we're going to talk about how the Hoover may definitely kick in during your no contact.